Okay, so let's continue our Hammer On studies. You remember in the introduction I showed you how you can play Hammer Ons using consecutive notes, where we only pick the string once, but we're actually sounding an additional 2 notes. And the example I showed you for that coming from an open string was the following: 3, 4. Okay, so now let's break that down and actually play that with a different example, and then just to kind of get your fingers moving across the neck a little bit more. So let me play it for you once, I'll break it down afterwards. 3, 4. Okay, first of all, you might have noticed the feel rhythmically is a little different to what I've done up to now, is because I've actually used 8th note triplets, and that just means where I usually had 2 8th notes, now I'm actually fitting 3 equally spaced 8th notes in there, so my feel is a little different. If you want a way to count that, a simple way to count it and also sounds like a triplet is the following: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're going to be playing 3 notes for every beat. First of all, we're going to start on the A string. Open A, hammering on to 5, followed by a hammer to 7. Remember, we're only picking the string once. Now, I would suggest doing what I'm doing now is just repeat that thing over and over until you're really feeling comfortable with that. And then you can increase the intervals in between, time-wise. So you can go like this: 3, 4. Okay, so just whatever is comfortable for you to get the technique down. Once you have it down, you can move on to the following exercise. If you're not sure about it yet, pause the video now, and then once you got that happening, then you can carry on. So now let's look at the actual example that I'm talking about. I'm going to be playing the following pattern, which will be A string, D string, G string, D string. Let me say that again. A, D, G, D. And for each one of those strings, I'll obviously add the left hand hammer ons. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so that's the first 3 beats. Again, 4 beats, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that's only the first half of this example. Let me show you the second half, which is just alternating between A, D, A, and D. So I've got the A string once, followed by D, back to A, followed by D. So now I can practice that one a little bit. Okay, so now the whole pattern, let me break it down for you. It's A, D, G, D, A, D, A, D. If you prefer to think of the strings as numbers, you'll have string 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. Let me play it for you one more time. 3, 4. Okay, let me give you a little something extra that you can start practicing this along with this following technique. That is, once you have this down. Okay, we're talking about articulation and the way we articulate our notes, the way we phrase our notes, the way we change the sound of the guitar to suit what it is that we actually want to be playing. So another thing that you can use now to kind of change or alter the sound a little bit, which does sound cool as well when you use a distortion, is making use of palm muting. And we'll actually cover that in some other lessons, but palm muting is using this side of your hand, okay, of your palm, and you just rest that across the bridge. If you've got a Floyd Rose or a floating bridge guitar, be sure not to press too hard on it because it's actually going to cause the strings to go sharp. In my case, I'm quite lucky now. I've got a nice fixed bridge here. But what I'm going to do, let me first of all contrast it using palm muting. So that means I mute a string while I play. And then I'm going to do it, the example, once with palm muting, and then I'm going to do it once without palm muting. So here it is with palm muting, followed by no palm muting. 3, 4. So you can hear there's a nice contrast in sound there. Palm muted notes would sound like this. No palm muting would sound like this. Okay, that's just a little something extra I thought I'd throw in there. That's something we look at in a lot more detail with some of the other videos. So that's hammering onto consecutive notes from an open string. So if you remember what we covered earlier when we looked at hammer-ons, first of all, we looked at hammering onto consecutive notes using all fretted notes. So let's look at the following example, which sounds like this. 3, 4. Okay, so basically what's happening, I'm picking the 2nd fret in the D string, hammering onto the 4th fret, followed by hammering onto the 5th fret. So those 3 notes. Okay, and just remember to note, I'm only picking each string once. And then again. So for each time I pick the string, I actually hear 3 notes. And then I repeat that same fret 2, fret 4, fret 5 on the G string. Then I move up to the D string again, and I'm going to play fret 4, 5, 7 using consecutive hammer-ons again. Same on the G string. Cool, so I've got the D string twice, the G string twice, then I've got the D string twice with 4, 5, 7, and the G string twice with 4, 5, 7. And then my example is going to sound like this. I'll play it for you one last time. 3, 4.